2026 and the link is feeling cold. Stories of a super runner getting kinda old. Jalen under fire, say his vision's getting tight. Calling them uncoachable every single night. AJ in the tray, got me in my field. Mr. Hollywood is the brownest on the field. Man, he ain't calling plays, I be searching for the spark. Eagles flying solo, hunting shadows in the dark. Crable and Rossini trying to launch a master plan. Ever since the photos got you sitting with the fans. Draft day approaching, how we sitting on this perch. Gotta fill some holes, so you know he's on the search. 10 toes down with the Eagles on the scene. Watching out for Cap, cause your boy is bleeding green. Searching through the trending topics, info moving slow. Pro fan talk, always keep you in the know. Pro fan talk. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Pro fan talk. Where the real ones ball. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all. Pro fan talk. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Pro fan talk. Where the real ones ball. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all. Pro fan talk.
What's going on, good people? Oh, I did not know I had that header on. This is not the Bald Eagles podcast with me and Tone. But what's going on? As soon as I get rid of this in a minute. What is going on? The loop, got that, clear background. Huh. I am. Something is getting goofy here. Where are the oh, there we go. One of my menus was hidden. I was like, what the hell is going on? Now we got it. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to y'all. A lot of stuff going on. NFL keeps on NFLing. So you know what's going on with that. We're about to start getting into this madness in a minute. Schedules are out. I believe all of the international games were released. You know they was going to talk about that first, but just everybody's kind of excited about the schedule, who's going overseas. I think we're playing in London. We play the Jaguars in London, right? But for us on the East Coast, going to London is quicker than going to LA. So something that I never thought about until I started traveling, until we went to Tokyo. I believe when we went to Tokyo, I believe we flew towards LA, towards the West Coast. So that is flying with the rotation of the Earth. So the trip is longer as opposed to flying east, like going to London, you're flying against the rotation. So flying to London, I believe, is like a 6-hour flight. I mean, yeah, that was a 6-hour flight. All them times we flew to that I had to fly to Scotland, we flew into London Heathrow. We either flew into London Heathrow or London Gatwick, and then we took the train up to Glasgow. So it was, that was about a 6-hour flight. So that wasn't too bad, but. So the Brazil flight, the Germany is going to be a bit. That's not. It all depends on if they make a straight flight. Because I will tell anybody, if you flying overseas, number one, it better be British Airways. Number two, if you can, any way, shape, or form, stop at London Heathrow Airport, I will tell anybody, man, that is something you need to experience in your lifetime. Going through London Heathrow. London Heathrow, the airports in London are it's like going to a mall. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like going to a mall, but it's the airport. The closest thing here, I know there are others, but the closest airport I've been to that reminds me, and that I would even imagine that it was modeled like some of the airports in Europe, is Atlanta. Atlanta, you would go to the airport to go get something to eat. They got a ton of restaurants, bunch of places to sit, bunch of bars, all of that type of stuff. It's a little bit different. But London Heathrow, that was like going to a mall. I used to look forward to flying somewhere and making a stop in London Heathrow because you'd always find something good. I remember we came through there. That was when I bought my. I think I told y'all when we were in Scotland, the first year we were in Scotland, the hotel we were staying at was no. This was the second year because we had moved to Glasgow. The hotel we were staying at in Glasgow was what was it called? The Station Hotel? Something Station in Glasgow. But in any case, that's where I ran into the chess team having a tournament in the hotel. And they kind of taught me how to play chess. And then going through London Heathrow, I believe we were going to Germany. I bought a little, it was about this big. It was a little handheld computer chess machine. It was the size of a book. It was like a size of a large book. And all of the pieces had little pegs on them. And it was a computer, ran on 4 AA batteries. And you would play the computer. And once I learned how to play chess, I started playing with the computer on away trips. And that's how I learned how to get bad at chess. I was never good at chess. But being bad at chess is an improvement from not knowing how to play. Let me say it like that. So, but so yeah, man. Thursday night in Arizona, yeah. So it's all good, man. I'm excited for it. Just one step closer, get to the season, man. I must admit, man, I apologize for being a little late tonight. I was working on some graphics and stuff, man. I got into my mix. I had the WNBA going. I was watching Toronto and Seattle. Toronto got their first win as a franchise. They beat Seattle. And I tell you what was funny, and you're going to start hearing the stuff about this, especially in the WNBA. We'll get into Tyrone Johnson's comments in a minute. But like I'm noticing, like one of the bigger podcasts was Gilbert Arenas, Gil's Arena, right? And Lexi Brown was always on that show 2 years ago when Caitlin Clark came out, and Cheryl Swoops was on there when she made her comments. So it was he always had the ladies on there, and Lexi Brown was always on there. And Lexi Brown is not looking good at all. Not at all. She had 16 minutes, no points. She was 0 for 1 from the floor. It was 0 for 1 from 3. She had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 turnovers for Lexi Brown. So all I'm saying is, and it's early, I will not, it ain't about crashing out on somebody because they had a bad game and they own, for them, it's game number 3. You know my rule. I gotta wait at least until we get the game, at least between games 6 to 10. That's when you know what you got. Now, if she's still, getting 16 minutes and scoring 0 points, and you in the 6th and the 7th game of the year, then it's safe to say you are what you are. So we used to that stuff in the NFL stuff. And it's funny how a lot of these things that they're going through, a lot of these growing pains. And it's like you think of it from an NFL perspective, and it's like, hey, welcome to the league, welcome to the show, welcome to the circus, where everybody got something to say. And just because they got something to say doesn't mean they actually watch your sport. So, but yeah, international. If I were to make a suggestion to anybody who would be seriously thinking about going to an NFL game overseas, the easiest place to get to would be to go to London. Short trip if you're on the East Coast. A lot of fun, a lot of places to stay. You'd have to do it early because there's a lot of places to stay, but London is not huge. London, the UK is not like the United States. There's not a lot of places to go. Plus, the UK is a hub. So you get a lot of people from a lot of other countries coming to the UK. That would be the easiest. The best time, if you wanted to just, if money is not an issue and you can go anywhere you want to go and you want to have the best time you could have, go to Germany. Period. Enough said. Go to Germany. Germany, everybody's friendly. They know how to party. Beers everywhere. Um, you can eat the food. You can eat to your heart's content. And the one thing that I thought was so funny, man, we went over there and we ate like hogs, man, because they're not used to the food that they used to serve us in the hotel. They weren't used to feeding people that ate that much. And over there, they don't really season their food. So wives and girlfriends would come over and stay with us over in Scotland, and we would tell them, bring over a big thing of Lawry's, bring over some seasoned salt, bring over salt, pepper, bring over oregano, spices, all that type of stuff, because they cook their food and they serve it. And then, of course, they got salt and pepper on the table, but they do not season their food at all. At least they didn't back in the 90s. Let me say it like that. But the one thing is over there, like especially like places like Germany and France and places like that, Barcelona, we went to Barcelona. You can eat like crazy. And when you come home, you will find that you have lost weight. That's the craziest thing. That's how I know that most of the stuff, not all, but I would say 90% of the crap we eat over here is some bullshit. Because you can go over there, eat all the McDonald's hamburgers you want, eat all the Kentucky Fried Chicken you want, eat all of the Chinese food, the Italian restaurants. Some of the best Italian food I've ever had in my life was in Scotland. There was an Italian restaurant right across the street from our hotel, the Central Hotel. That's what it was called, the Central Hotel in Glasgow. It's set right on top of the Central train station. They call it the Central Station, the Central Hotel. If you look at it, if you look that up on Google, you would think that that is a location for a horror movie, because it is like, it's got like a Gothic, it's kind of a modern, it's an old building, but it's a kind of a modern design, but you could, it's just kind of like it got a Gothic feel. And at one point I saw pictures of it when it was painted black. And I mean, it is scary looking. But it was fun. It was fun, man. And we had it was an Italian restaurant right across the street. Food was fire. It was a Chinese place right across the street in Glasgow, England, or Glasgow, Scotland, right across the street. And the funniest thing, this is when I wish, like back then we had camera phones and you could record everything, because I will never forget my first time going to that Chinese restaurant and meeting a Chinese man, an Asian man with a Scottish accent. I was like, wait, stop. Like I had to wrap my head around that one for a minute. It was crazy. It was an Asian man with a Chinese accent, and I was, or an Asian man with a Scottish accent. I was like, I was bugging. It was funny, but the food was fire. There was an Indian place right next door. It was a Chinese place, an Indian place, an Italian place. Then it was just bar. Or pub. They call them pubs over there. And you can get food over there. One of the things that I like to get over there was, we call it a cheeseburger. They call it a cheeseburger, but literally it is a deep fried burger patty. It's a thick burger patty, deep fried, like the same batter that they use with like fish and chips and all of that kind of stuff. But it's a deep fried burger with cheese on, like a cheeseburger. And then they just deep fry it. And then they serve it with, you can get it with served in the wrapping paper, in the newspaper, with the brown sauce and all of that type of stuff. They serve it the same way that they serve fish and chips. The fish and chips is fire. Don't get that twisted. Man, get you some real fish and chips with some brown sauce. Man, listen. Get you an education over there, man. So, is it true that they have beer warm across the pond? Yes, it is true. The first time, I am not a drinker. I do not drink. Every now and then I will have a shot with my twin sister, but I am not a drinker. But I wanted to have a Guinness because when in Rome, you do what the Romans do. So I had a Guinness, and yes, they serve their Guinness at room temperature. However, comma, if you want a cold Guinness, they have cold on tap usually, or they will have a can in a fridge somewhere. If you want cold, usually what they have is the way they do it over there is most of the time in most pubs that you go to, the Guinness and stuff like that, they're whatever beer they sell is room temperature on tap. But what they will do is they keep these big ass beer mugs in a freezer. So the beer mug comes out cold. Normally they give you like one of those pint glasses and they pour the Guinness or the beer or whatever you're having there. But if you want something cold, they will pull out one of them big ass frozen mugs and serve it there. So it'll chill it down a little bit. So they're not stupid. They know a lot of people come and visit and they want that, they want your business. So if you want a cold Guinness, you just got to ask for it. They will accommodate you. But yes, the beer is room temperature, and it's not as bad as you think. And that's another thing different over there. And if you get the opportunity to travel overseas, the first thing you will learn is how different the food is over there. The food over there is not going to kill you. If you getting French fries, it's potatoes, salt. That's it. We got shit over here. You can leave it outside and it'll never decompose. It'll never, none of that. The natural progress of food and things of that nature does not happen with the food that we serve over here. You got so many chemicals and all that kind of crap. Over there, you don't have that. If it's not good for you, they will not let people put it in food. They don't do that. That's why I'm saying you can go over there and eat all the KFC and all of the McDonald's, and you eating McDonald's. You eating good French fries and good hamburgers because they don't put all the bullshit in there. So it's a weird scenario. You go to Germany, you can eat pretzels till your heart is content, and you'll come back and you will find that you have probably lost some weight. Number one, because they walk everywhere. They ain't trying to drive you everywhere. You walk, go get a cab, you walk to the train station, or all of that type of stuff. Public, they do have cars and you can get cabs and all of that type of stuff, but you get a cab, they drop you to a location and you just walk to the pubs and you walk everywhere you need to walk. So you will go over there and eat. You can eat all the pretzels and all the schnitzel and everything that you want. And when you get back to the States, you will find out that you have lost weight because they don't put all the bullshit in the food. So, but yeah, man, the Chinese food was fire. There's an Indian place, they serve chicken tikka. And basically it is like basically described as they give you this big old pita cut in half, and this is a big pita. And they basically load it up with cabbage and lettuce and all these other things, but a bunch of spicy chicken. It's almost like what is it? What's it when they got all of the layers of meat and you just cut the meat off? What do they call that? Not a gyro, but I guess it would be a gyro because gyros do the same thing where they just layer the meat on that big pole. They just layer it, and then they put it on this thing, and then it spins around, but the heating element is in the back, and then it just slowly over time it just cooks the whole thing. They do the same thing except with chicken, and it's super spicy. You can get it mild, medium, or super spicy hot. And then they chop up a bunch of carrots and cabbage and lettuce and tomatoes and all that type of stuff. They put it in there with the chicken. That's what they call chicken tikka. It is off the chain. Off the chain. If you want to walk down the street where we stayed, if you wanted to walk down the street, there was a TGI Fridays on the next block. It was the only TGI Fridays in Glasgow. And it was walking distance. It was like a block away. So that was where we always went to eat. But stuff over there, man, it was so good, so good. Haggis is nasty. Don't get that twisted. Haggis is nasty. Haggis is I call haggis like chitlins evolved. Haggis is stomach lining, heart, liver, whole bunch of other stuff, herbs and spices, all chopped up and mixed up with rice, served, cooked in the stomach lining of like a lamb or a cow or whatever. But it's like, yeah, I tried it. Just to say I tried it. No, thank you. So some people, if you, I would imagine you would like haggis. If you like chicken gizzards, if you like chicken hearts, stuff like that. If you don't mind like that, like kidney meat and all of that crazy stuff that people eat. Like my dad used to eat chicken gizzards. I was like, ugh. Like, no. If you like liver, like me, liver and onions, my dad would have me at that table. Like, you ain't getting up until that plate is empty. I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna be here for a long time because I ain't eating that shit. But if you like liver, if you like liver and onions and all that type of stuff, you would like haggis. That's my guess. But if you don't, stay away from it. I did it. We had a ceremony. They do this whole thing. They come in with the bagpipes and the kilts, and they give you this speech. And then they come out with this huge plate of haggis. Now it's still in the stomach lining. And they do this whole thing and they smack it around, and you see it bouncing and steaming, and it's actually pretty funny because they'll say some stuff and then they'll smack it. They'll say something else and they'll smack it again. And then when they're done saying what they say, the dude pulls out a knife and cuts it open. So they make a to-do about it, but yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Don't think it's on the haggis, but everything else was popping. Smoked salmon, lox and bagels. That stuff is good over there, man. It's like, oh, I don't. When me and my wife was over there, McDonald's had blizzards. Blizzards had not come to the United States yet. We were eating blizzards every friggin' week. We came back and my wife went to McDonald's looking for a blizzard. They didn't know what the hell she was talking about. It hadn't made it over to the States. That's the other thing. Stuff over there hadn't made it over to the States yet. Video games. Always been a gamer, but I never forget going over there. They had an arcade on the corner. Because remember, we closer to Tokyo than we are the States. So it's like the video game culture is different. You go to the arcade. Now, mind you, this is 1993. So yes, they still had arcades, and all of them were the stand-up Dance Dance Revolutions and the Virtual Fighters. I remember the first time I saw Virtual Fighter in an arcade, blew my mind. It was like mind blown. And it would be lines of people just watching because they would have the DDR machines, and they would always have the big machines at the entrance because usually the arcades was on a corner. So people would walk by and it would be a big open entrance. And the first two games you see was either Virtual Fighter or the DDR game. And the way they had the DDR game, they would have the dance pad, and it would be a huge TV, a huge screen on top of the normal screen. So if you playing, you looking at the regular screen. If you spectating, you looking at the big screen behind it. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. But it was fun, man. Loved it. So I say all that to say, if you ever get the opportunity to go visit overseas, go to London, go to Scotland. If you want to have a good time, go to Germany. Germany, they know how to have a good time. Cars everywhere. Hell, even the cabs are Mercedes. The cabs are Mercedes. You know what I mean? So they take care of you. They know they're really nice over there. Don't go over there acting like an American asshole because they would treat you like an American asshole. But like they know how to have a good time. They know where to tell you where to go. They will tell you what to avoid. They'll tell you where to go if you want to do this and smoke a little bit of this and have a little extra. And they will tell you, if you're not about that life, uh, don't go to these bars. And dude, they got it. Because remember, that's the other thing. They do a lot of shit over there, like weed, marijuana, stuff like that, been legal over there for years. So they would tell us. It's like I remember when we went to Amsterdam. My boy, one of my best friends, Ron Carp, he played for Amsterdam, and of course, you get over there, everybody friends. So, all right, we gonna pick you up after the game. We gonna come to the hotel, pick you up after the game. We gonna go out. And I remember we went to a club, nightclub out there in Amsterdam, and I remember them telling us like, all right, cool, is this that's the all right. If you want something to drink, buy it from here. Do not buy anything from this place, from this bar. This bar, they're going to give you your drink and a little something extra. So do not buy anything from over here. If you want a beer or something like that, go over there. Like you had to, if you don't know the route, you don't know what you don't know. But you get you a guide, like people willing to take you everywhere you want to go. Like over there, you can meet somebody from the first time. Oh, y'all play for the Claymores? Oh, come on, I'll take you here, I'll take you there. And people will take you around, show you the town, all that. Like, I'm gonna take you over here to this spot where you can get something to eat, and like they'll take care of you. I don't know if they're still like that now, but like we had a blast over there, man. If you can get out of this country to visit some of these places, man, like the things that football has allowed me to do. Um, my big sister, when she got out of college, she spent 8 months in Tokyo. She lived in Tokyo for 8 months. So she had to learn to speak Japanese, all of that type of stuff. And you've heard some of these stories about Black folks in Japan. She was dealing with that like in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. So she spent 8 months in Japan. And then my rookie year with the Eagles, we played the Saints in the American Bowl in Tokyo. So I got a chance to go to Tokyo. One of the best trips I've ever had in my life. I wish I'd have been old enough. I wish I'd have had enough wherewithal to enjoy it a little bit better. But I was a rookie. I didn't want to do nothing stupid. I didn't want to go too far from the hotel. I didn't want to have nothing bad happen. So I pretty much stayed close to home, stayed close to the hotel. But I remember we had it was a huge welcoming for both teams. I mean, it was thousands of people there, if I can remember correctly. And they like when you are a guest in Japan, when you are like a VIP in Japan, roll to say they rolled out the red carpet is a gross understatement. Like everything is top notch. That was the first time I had like sushi. I used to hear my sister talk about it all the time, but I was like, raw fish, not good. And you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I didn't know. First time I had real sushi. So first time I had real sushi in Tokyo, I'm spoiled. Now I'll come back to the States and I'm thinking all sushi's gonna taste like that. No. How about no? But just different things like that, man. If you can go overseas, go. Go to London, go to Germany. France is a mixed bag because there's a lot of thieves in France. And like a lot of people, what do you associate with France? The Eiffel Tower. And I've had a lot of people tell me the Eiffel Tower is not what it's cracked up to be. It is dirty and junky down there, homeless people, all of that type of stuff. It is not what it's cracked up to be. But if you like the language and the food and all that kind of stuff, hey, it is what it is. Q, going to Japan to visit my brother-in-law once he gets stationed out there. Definitely, bro. Definitely go online because you can do stuff now that we couldn't do. I couldn't Google what should I do when I'm in Japan and shit. Now you can get a map and it'll tell you exactly where to go. You can buy coupons to bars. You can have all it mapped out before you even get on the plane. We couldn't do that back then. Couldn't do that back then. The one thing I remembered about that trip from Tokyo, I went to sleep on the plane for 12 hours. No, 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 no. I went to sleep for 6 hours, woke up with 12 more to go. That's an 18-hour flight. And we had a private plane just with all the football players on it, and all the Eagles staff. It was a huge plane. I don't know what this was, a 787 or it was seven something seven. But all I know it was two levels, and it was a ton of seats on that thing. And it was all us. So you had plenty of it was like uh it was two sections of four seats in the middle, and then there was three seats on one side, three seats on the other side. Then in the middle of the plane, it was four seats. It was eight seats in the middle. So you could we there was enough room where you could lay down in one of those four seats in the middle. And like I said, it was all us. But I remember I went to sleep for 6 hours and woke up and we had 12 more to go. And guess what? It wasn't no handheld game systems. It wasn't no GBA. It wasn't no Steam Deck. I couldn't play. I couldn't watch movies on my phone. You couldn't do none of that. There was no VR headset. I couldn't bring my MetaQuest. None of that, bro. All you had was your book of CDs. That is it. That is it. So, um, yeah, man, it's good times, man. That was. I'd like to tell people, um, football allowed me to travel the world, and I got to see some things, and I got to. That was the best education. That's the education that college can't get you. Right there, I understood. Not no Steam Deck. uh, I quickly understood. Now, mind you, again, this is back in 1993. I figured out very quickly and very obviously why people in other countries really don't like Americans. I found that out because Americans are very loud, obnoxious, arrogant, and rude. Because Americans tend to think they should get things their way because they're American, and they project that everywhere they go. Well, I'm American, and I did that. It was even guys on my team when we was in Scotland that did that shit, and it was like, that's not a good look. No, because that type of stuff represents everybody. I remember it was guys complaining because they didn't like the way they cooked food, and it was like, listen, man, they doing the best they can. They don't know how we like our eggs and all of that type of stuff. It's not for them. They doing the best they can, but some people take it to the next level, and it's like you can't do that, man. These people, but the thing is, if you nice to them, they will bend over backwards for you. They will bend over backwards for you. So it just just a learning experience. But you figure things out real quick. Figure things out real quick, man. So um, they were shocked to see black folks in Turkey. I believe that. I believe that. For the first year in Scotland, we were in Edinburgh. The stadium, Murray Field, the stadium is in Edinburgh. The first year we stayed in Edinburgh, and then we moved to Glasgow the next year because Glasgow, it was cheaper, it was closer to the train station, and it was like an hour ride to go to get to Edinburgh to the field. So being in Glasgow was no big deal. Um, so yeah, the first day, me and my roommate at the time, we went walking. We went down Princess Street. If you ever been in Scotland, you know what Princess Street is. That is the Princess Street is like Broad Street. Everybody knows what it is. Um, and it was me, my roommate, who was a linebacker. So he's like 6'2". I'm 5'10", like 215. He's 6'2", 230. And we was with this dude. He was an offensive lineman. He was like 6'5", 405. He was ginormous. And we were walking down and we were parting the Red Sea. Like people were like moving over and just like everybody looking up. Because over there, the average height over there was like 5'5", 5'6". So even I was bigger. You know what I'm saying? So like we had that thing, and they used to joke with us because we used to like be straight up like, you're not used to seeing black folks over here. And they'd be like, no, we see black folks all the time. We get, because there's a lot of Nigerians that was living in London that would come up to Scotland. So that wasn't foreign for them. They just had never seen anybody as big as we were. That was the thing. But it was had a great time, man. Had a great time. So I don't go to third world because yeah, but people wild out now, man. I saw the thing. My sister was telling me about the I guess a group of girls had went to Dubai and they was wilding out, and it was like, listen, you can't get away with that dumb shit over there. You better understand what the law say over there because they ain't playing. They do not play at all. So, um, but in any case, what's going on? Because I know, um, let me see. I was looking. Eventually, I was going to get around to talking about the Eagles, but I'm trying to look for schedule. Any more schedules? Any more schedules? Somebody asked me, who was that? I think that was Chris. Because I'm just running off at the mouth. Because I know I'm probably gonna get off pretty soon. Because I know the Indiana Fever play at 10, so I'm definitely gonna be watching that game. But I'm gonna drop the link real quick if anybody want to come on and ask a couple questions. We can do that. I see still people, you know, the doubting campaign has begun again. Everybody looking, trying to find something wrong with Jalen Hurts. You know how that goes. Every year we go through the same thing. I'm just waiting for as soon as the schedule is released, and soon as all the information about AJ Brown is done, they're gonna start with the list again. Who's the top five? Who's elite? Who's this? Who's that? Who's this? Who's that? And it's like, come on, man, what are y'all doing? Huh? What are y'all doing? Who cares? Who cares when you haven't played a game? Who cares where you ranked in preseason? What difference does it make? It has no bearing on whether or not you're gonna make the playoffs or not. So who cares? But everybody gets into that. Kind of leads me into that thing with situation going on with Tyrone Johnson. Tyrone Johnson, all of a sudden, he got comments about Caitlin Clark, saying that the Caitlin Clark phenomenon is over. She is basically like Lynn Sanity. That's what she said, Jeremy Lin. And I was like, where the hell did that come from? Like out of the blue, like what? Huh? It was just a very odd statement and like very out of place. But he went with it. And I'm thinking, and everybody was asking the same question, like, why would he say some shit like that? Because Tyrone knows his stuff. I like his content. I like seeing him on the radio. But I was like, that didn't make sense to me. That was weird. And then I looked at the post he put out, and I was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense with your 300 something thousand views. It's like, at the end of the day, it's all clickbait. It's all clickbait. I was like, who does that? That's like saying Jalen Hurts rookie year. When Jalen Hurts was not doing very well, that's like saying, which is what people did, was like, oh, insert the worst quarterback you can think of being a bust or whatever. And it was like, you just putting that on him because you just like, how do you know? I guess that's the one thing that I always say, like the comp when you're talking about the WNBA and the NFL, especially us being fans of Philadelphia. It's like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? You're not seeing the same things we see, or you just getting the narratives and getting the clickbait and getting the posts that you see on social media, and you don't do any homework. You ain't watching no games, because I can already tell you now. I thought it was bad. Caitlin Clark's rookie year. It's worse now. When she came out her rookie year, everybody had something to say. And then you would do a little digging on people's timelines that had all of these comments. And it's like, wait a minute. You ain't never said shit about the WNBA. And all of a sudden, your timeline is blowing up with Caitlin Clark comments. You don't even know who on the league. Like, I got a personal issue. Like, if you covering basketball, and you say Paige Buchers, like, I got a thing about, like, get the name right. It's Paige Beckers, like Boris Becker, but it's Paige Beckers. It's just spelled B-U-E. But if you follow the game, you would already know that. So at least that's a telltale sign. If you get somebody that says Paige Buchers, that means it's either AI or they don't follow the sport. That's too easy to figure out. And you had all of these people all of a sudden, like, you check their timeline of posts and you check their receipts, and like, you ain't never talked about basketball. Where this coming from? And all of a sudden now it's like everybody got something to say. It's like, hold on, cuz. Like, hold on a second. So we play at Washington week 8. Who knows? At the end of the day, like, it don't even register with me. Like, I don't even let's just get to the getting. I'm not worried about all this other stuff. Because now the noise is so loud now, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. So, what's going on here? So, but in any case, yeah, we're gonna find out. Doesn't matter who's got then they ran the links on who's got the hardest schedule, who's got the seventh. How do you figure out you got the seventh hardest schedule in the league? Who knows that? What happens if the schedule and all your teams suck? Then what? This, like, all of it is nonsense, man. It's nonsense. But it's still funny. Still funny. It's still funny. But they do it every year. They're not gonna stop doing it. It is what it is. So, let them have have they fun with it. Let them have their fun with it, man. So, I'm gonna see. I'm pumping up I'm on the WNBA.com. Let me see. Toronto lost, and Las Vegas is blowing out Connecticut. Connecticut is not going to be good this year. The Fever. Let me see. Chicago plays Golden State. Golden State is going to beat Chicago. I don't know. Chicago's good this year. And then, of course, Indiana Fever play LA. If we lose to LA, boy, they'll be coming with torches and pitchforks for Stephanie White. That's for sure. This is on USA. Aha. Oh, and it starts at 10:30. Bet. All right, I'm gonna jump right on into Xfinity about that one. So, yeah, they got based off of last year's record, strength of schedule, and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, what's the equation for all of this stuff? I know they throw a bunch of stuff in the pot and just basically they see what sticks. It's all good. It's all good. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and land this plane. I apologize for being late tonight. I just had some stuff going on. Working on this little effect. I'm working on the shutter effect with all of the teams on it. Working on some new stuff, man. I'm almost to the point where I can start getting away from StreamYard. So I got to do some more tests. I might do some tests next week. And what that is I'm going to test running this whole stream through OBS. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the videos, I'm going to stream it, but the videos are going to be private. So if you are subscribed to my channel, you will see it. So it's not going to be for any outsiders. The tests are only going to be for members. So if you're a member of the squad, I appreciate you. look for that notification. And if you see it, join up because I want to see how this works and I want to see what it looks like. You can't wait till AJS is gone. It's coming. I heard the report today that he's closing in on a luxury condo in New England. I mean, the writing's on the wall. We're just a matter of time. We're going through the formalities, man. It's this, that, and the other. It's all good, man. This is business. This is business. Y'all know I was in my feelings about it. I'm good with it now. I wish nothing but the best for AJ Brown. I like AJ Brown. I wish he was not going to this day. I still wish he wasn't leaving. But I understand this is how the sausage is made. And if he thinks if he thinks the grass is greener on the other side, go for yours, bro. You helped us get a chip. I ain't got not one bad word to say about you. Not one. Not one. So people can whine, bitch, and moan about what they didn't like and get all high in the collar about that. I ain't doing that because I know what it takes to do what he did, and he did it at a consistent level. And the only time it stopped being consistent, it wasn't his fault. Now, granted, he had some drops in that last year into the playoffs and all of that type of stuff, but for the most part, like if you want to look at it like this, man, anything after that chip was gravy. It was gravy. Donovan couldn't get us a chip. We had one of the best in the business with Terrell Owens, and them together couldn't get us a chip. I said this last night with Tone. The best quarterback to ever play, Tom Brady, and the best wide receiver to ever play, Randy Moss, with them two together, they still couldn't win one. That was the only time I rooted for the New England Patriots because I wanted to see Randy Moss get a ring. Nope. Big fat nope. So guess what? AJ helped us. We made the most of that situation. And you know what? I wish you the best wherever you go, bro. You will always be 1K, always open in my book. So, know you got to go, but hate to see you leave. That's how I feel about it. Forget all these other people talking about. I know you can't wait till he gone, but I can because I know what he meant to this team, and I know what it would have looked like if he wasn't here. So I'm trying to be real about the situation. Again, facts over feelings. Facts over feelings. You can say what you want, but I guess what? Tavion Wicks and Darius Cooper and Elijah Moore and Mekhi Lemon and all these other receivers we got, somebody better produce. Somebody better find some way, shape, or form to make Philadelphia forget about A.J. Brown. Or you are going to hear about it every friggin' day. Every day. You already know the media is going to flip on it. The media is going to flip on that with the quickness, talking about, this is what you get when you get rid of somebody like A.J. Brown. And I guarantee you the narrative is going to switch when the season starts about how Philadelphia ran A.J. Brown out of town. That's what the narrative is going to be. I'm already telling you. You already know how this works. The narrative is going to be that we ran him out of town. So it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what? You can say ESPN is racist, but everybody is. Everybody is. Ain't nobody exempt. Ain't nobody exempt. I was trying to look at the thing with speaking of that, everybody was crashing out on Caitlin Clark because she went to a concert with Wallen. I don't know who this dude is. Is it Morgan Wallen? He's a country singer or whatever. And I'm like, he's racist. He's this, is that. I'm like, what did he do? So I had to go do some digging and pull up the tape when he did whatever it was he did. I was like, that's what y'all mad at? That's what y'all upset with is what he said, drunk going into his house. Now, granted, it wasn't a good look, but I've seen people get in a hell of a lot more trouble for doing a whole lot less. So I was like, if that's what you mad at, and that's what you want to call, criticizing her because she did a walkout with him, and I was like, so if he races, what happened with DeAndre Hopkins and Julio Jones and Marshawn Lynch and Mike Tyson and Drake and all them other Barry Bonds? He did a walkout with Barry Bonds. So I guess my point is, there's a whole lot of black faces on that list that walked out with him, and you ain't hear nothing about it. So it's like now all of a sudden everybody got selective outrage. Like, miss me with that stuff, man. Like, get out of here with that. So, what's up, Art? Make it quick, bro, because I'm about to land this plane, bro. What's going on with you?
Not much, Coach. Sorry about that. I got distracted. I was going to jump on earlier. I was just going to touch up on the Kevin Petullo thing. I don't know if you touched up on it already.
No, I didn't talk about. I forgot about it, but I heard his comments.
Yeah, I think it's just interesting because he was trying to put in his resume like it was a good thing, but we know that offense has been super bland, and teams have been calling out exactly what play we're going to do for more than just last year, Coach. It's been a couple years. Barkley covered it up, thankfully, in 25, 24, because there's nothing you could do with that guy. You know what I mean? He was spinning and doing 360s, and he was jumping over people backwards. And
he's entitled to say what he want to say. I ain't got no problem with that. Because here's my thing, man, and this is, it took years of conditioning to get to this point. So, when it comes to stuff like that, man, you got a right to say whatever it is you want to say. I ain't got to believe you. I ain't got to agree with you. But it's your right to say whatever it is you think, how you see it, what your perspective is, and your opinion. Y'all know my famous saying, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. So he got every right to say what he thinks and what he feels. However, I got every right to go back and watch film of all of the games that he was calling and look at him and say, yeah, that looked like some bullshit, bro. So I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, you can always question the truth, because it's always going to come back, the truth. So he can say what he want to say. I watched the tape, and I'm like, if you good with what you just said, more power to you. But what I'm seeing, nah, bro. So I don't worry about that. Somebody else might give him a shot, or he's in Miami now or whatever. We'll see next year. Is he going to be making the same mistakes? Is he going to have the same type of, I don't know. It might turn out that he was right. I doubt it, but it's going to play itself out. That's the beauty of playing the game that we play. Regardless of what the rankings are and all this other nonsense that they put on in social media and on TV now, it doesn't matter, because eventually there's going to come a time where the defense is going to line up and the offense is going to line up and somebody going to snap the ball. Then you will see what's what. He can say what he want to say in the meantime. Don't bother me in the least.
I think you touched on it perfectly, Coach. I agree, and I'm not going to take too much more of your time. I'll jump on more earlier next time so we can really get into a couple other things I want to get into.
For sure, bro.
All right, Coach. I appreciate it. Go Birds.
Go Birds, man. So, all right. Yeah, I'm about to get up. I rocked on for about an hour, 55 minutes. I'm good with that. I'm trying to think. Am I going to try to go on live on Pro Fan Hoops? I might do a live there and do like a live watch of the Indiana game. So it's possible. So stay on your P's and Q's. If you see the notification pop up for Pro Fan Hoops, then that means I'll be doing a live watch, a watch along of the game, of the Indiana game. So, but all right, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll see what we gonna see. All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all in. I appreciate you, and as usual, go Birds. Yeah.
Yo, 2026 and the link is feeling cold. Stories of a super runner getting kinda old. Jalen under fire, say his vision's getting tight. Calling him uncoachable every single night. AJ in the tray, got me in my fields. Mr. Hollywood is the brownest on the field. Man, he ain't calling plays, I be searching for the spark. Eagles flying solo, hunting shadows in the dark. Prabo and Rossini trying to launch a master plan. Ever since the photos got you sitting with the fans. Draft day approaching, how we sitting on this perch. Gotta fill some holes, so you know he's on the search. 10 toes down with the Eagles on the scene. Watching out for Cap, cause your boy is bleeding green. Searching through the trending topics, info moving slow. Pro fan talk, always keep you in the know. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Where the real ones ball. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover it all. Hit the bell, that's law. Break it down from the film to the box score raw. Where the real ones ball. From the birds to the league, we gon' cover